She's waiting.
Yeah, that's right. We all want to get married.
No, sir. No wedding. Moving violation. Failure to stop.
Let's just be quiet and let him do his little thing and we'll be on our way.
Well, I have got a surprise for everybody. I'm just waiting for it.
There you go. The cat's eye will spin.
Okay. We'll listen. We'll listen.
Aykroyd.
Hula. The boola. Look who's got the front seats of the Mexican hat dance now. Just like a bunch of spiders in a birthday cake.
Well, I don't know if you recognize this movie yet, but I am reviewing the 1991 box office absolute bomb, Nothing But Trouble. And Siskel and Ebert said this was one of the worst movies of 1991. What do I think of this movie? We will find out after this.
I think I do have met you one of these sometimes. I do think that you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that retro commercial. I just thought I would throw that in just for something fun. Well, if Roseanne is asleep, she's awake now. I think we woke her up with that McDonald's commercial. So, like I said, Siskel and Ebert said this was one of the worst movies of 1991. Yes, it was a box office bomb. But let's see what this movie has going for it. It has Chevy Chase in this. We all know him from Caddyshack, Foul Play, Saturday Night Live. And I know I'm getting a shaking of the head of no. No, and no. And he was also in, we all know him from Vacation, European Vacation, Christmas Vacation, Man of the House, Cops and Robertsons. And unfortunately, he was in the remake of Vacation. I don't know how we agreed to that. And then with him, you have actress Demi Moore. Oh, I'm sorry. Demi Moore. My mistake. Maybe the one mistake this movie did make was casting Demi Moore in this. Her personality was more stale than an opened container or an open package of Voortman vanilla wafer cookies. And after being open for a year. So yes, that's very stale. She may have been the real problem that I saw with this movie. And this also stars Dan Aykroyd, as he actually has a dual part in this. He's the judge, and he's also Baby Bobo. Oh, you'll see. You'll find out that character. And also, you have John Candy as the policeman, and also, I'm trying to pronounce her name, Anglenor. The judge's
Eleanor?
granddaughter. No, it's Angela. I can't say it. I'll say it correctly in just a few minutes. But anyway, she ends up falling for Chevy Chase's part. He plays Chris in this movie, and Demi Moore plays the part of Diane. So, long story short here, they end up driving. They speed. And of course, it's Ohio where they get pulled over. And they end up going to... I can't even pronounce the town. Hold on, just pause it for a minute. Okay, I got it. I was just tongue-tied. Velkenvania is the town's name. I actually do like that name for the town. They did a nice job with this. One thing I do really want to add here is Dan Aykroyd was the director, the writer. He also helped produce this, and he had 2 roles in this movie. I mean, he put a lot of work into this movie, and it pretty much got crapped on by Siskel and Sherbert. Oh, I got their names wrong. I'm so sorry. I'll apologize to them later. So anyway.
Will you?
No.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, those 2 clowns didn't even review it properly. And if you hang on and hold tight, I will actually show a clip of their review maybe at the end or the middle of this, whenever I want to. So, anyways, so moving on here. So they get pulled over. He's doing a 50 and a 35. John Candy pulls him over, and Chevy Chase says, "Let me pay the ticket," without making a few wise remarks to the cop before. So he says, "That's not how we do things here. Not do things here. I'll take you to the judge." He pulls up in front of this house. It's a pretty cool looking mansion from a movie set standpoint. I thought the mansion looked really, really neat. So they go in, they meet the judge. You'll see he's...
Where's the mansion?
You want me to say Velkenvania again, don't you? And you want me to get all nutsed up. But it's actually in a... This is a fun fact, too. It's in a dump, but they actually bought the actual scrap stuff. They actually bought from a guy that actually owned a scrap metal junkyard. So they actually bought the junkyard and moved it on the movie set in Burbank. And they also, and to add to it, they also bought a ton of microwaves. I forgot how many it was. It was a large number. Maybe 1,500 microwaves.
Stupid question.
Yeah.
Why do I need that?
They need to make it look as junky as possible. They really wanted to make this look like a rundown town. This was a town that went bankrupt. So they want to make it look as rundown as they could. So they pretty much put his house...
They couldn't just use a green screen?
No, that's no fun. You're taking the fun out of what they used to do. These sets are what makes these movies great. Or good.
Or bad.
Or bad, but for the most part, the sets are enjoyable. A lot of the stuff that you're going to see here is actually cool, no matter what Tubby Lumpkins and Baldy said about it. There are some things in this movie that are actually a lot of fun. They just don't know how to have any. So...
Neither do you.
Oh, yes, I do. So they go to the judge. He is old. He's 106 years old. And you didn't even recognize him, but it is Dan Aykroyd.
How the heck was that him?
That was him. Hey, and then there you go. Because you didn't recognize him, there's another plus. The makeup must have been really, really good in this. Uncomfortable, too, I'm sure, since he had to do this and Baby Bobo. And when you see Baby Bobo, you're going to pretty much say, what the heck is that?
I think I already did that.
Yeah, well, you're going to say it again. So...
I only have energy for one. Also, who are you?
Oh, this is Chip Cod Roach. and I am, like I said, this is nothing but trouble. So I will show the first clip, and this is introducing Chris and Diane.
Are you kidding? Not unless somebody holds a gun to my head. He's a fraud, he's a rip-off artist. It's all about buying legs and filling them with garbage. I don't know what set you off in the elevator. If I were you, I'd stay away from the sun's guy.
Let's just say I have a personal interest in this particular deal. So if you're not going, can I borrow your car? I'm a good driver.
I didn't say I'm not going. I just said I'm not planning on going. I have a low opinion of it.
So this is Chris and Diane, and Chevy Chase, who plays Chris, is a financial advisor, and he just met Diane. She was in the elevator with her two dogs. So he met her. They're going to this little, whatever it is, dinner party. So she wants him to drive her, so he's planning on it. But the next day he tries to make up a story that he is sick. But then I guess he sees her in the elevator and he decides to take her anyways. I guess he finds her incredibly attractive. I think Demi Moore is more like Demi less in this movie. I don't find her attractive at all, and I don't find her personality even remotely appealing, but that's just me. Anyway, she's impressed with his Beamer, his car. That does mean his car, and they start to drive off, but then the Brazilian couple that he met at the party are there waiting for him to drive them as well. He tried to get out of it, but it did not work. So the Brazilian guys, this is Ronaldo, his wife, and the guy's name is Fausto. He's played by Taylor Negron. You may have seen him in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. He was in Easy Money, and he was also in Angels in the Outfield. And he's been in other things as well. Through Rock from the Sun, he was on a couple episodes. So he has been around. You will recognize him when you see him. So I will show the next clip.
No, I will not, because I did see him and I don't recognize him.
Oh, we will see. And
I already have.
You'll see him again. And I will show the next clip of them getting in the car. They look like really nice people.
They're not coming with us, are they?
Look at him, I can't say no.
Dude, I imagine that you did not think we'd be up so already.
I had no idea.
Kitties.
Where are we going?
We're going to Atlantic City, Fausto. Get in the trunk.
Good. We can see the Taj Mahal. I know it. I hear they call it the ninth wonder of the world. Oh, we have the fifth in South America, in Rio. The Christ of Corpus.
So I do apologize for the little mix-up here. I just remembered I got the stories mixed up. I got the real story mixed up with the movie. He actually runs a stop sign, but then he does proceed to speed and lose the cop. I'll show you that in a second. So, anyways, there's the Brazilian couple that he is picking up, and as you can tell, Chevy Chase is being Chevy Chase. He's being sarcastic with them. I did miss some of these lines the first time I watched this movie. I actually watched it today twice. I watched it before I went to work, and then I watched it again with dinner, just to make sure I got all the jokes down. So
Good thing I was at work.
well, yeah, that's why I did it. I didn't think this would be your kind of movie, but from what I saw for right now, this actually is enjoyable. I don't know what those two goofballs. I don't know what problems they really saw unless they don't have a sense of humor, which is possible. So I will show the scene where they are getting pulled over.
Oh, I think I can lose him. Pull over now.
What the hell is that? Detour. Here we go.
Well, this is pretty interesting here that the cop has some pretty interesting gadgets in his car. He's got the little detour thing on there. He's got some Batman flames coming out the back, which unfortunately the only way you're gonna see that, you're gonna have to watch the movie for yourself. Sorry.
I'm good.
So now he is obviously going to get into sort of a high-speed chase here. And let's see how gentle this cop is. I'll show you that clip next.
Good afternoon. Driver, step outside the car, please.
Was I speeding? Sorry, wasn't sure you were a real cop. And, please. I mean that in a complimentary sense.
That's okay. There's no law against having a sense of humor. Now, turn around, put your hands on the roof of the car, please, sir. There you go, sir.
Spread them. Really?
Spread them. Oh, yeah, that's nice, thanks. The lower back, please. Thank you. Check the prostate, that's nice. Oh, all right, thank you.
I got an itch right up in there. It's good, thank you.
Not today, sir. Turn around. And I see your license, registration, and insurance, please.
What's the charge?
You were speeding, but that's not why I began to follow you, sir. Back there in the village, you failed to make a full stop at the intersection.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice.
Well, as I say, that's the initial reason why I followed.
So he did run a stop sign and was speeding. And and it was nice of John Candy to pull him over. And as you can see, when he was frisking him, yeah, Chevy Chase had to make some little comments in there like he normally does in most of his movies. So now you get to see I'm going to show you the scrapyard and the mansion, which I think kind of make this movie really, really cool. If you don't agree with me, that is fine. Oh, don't put your thumb down. I will show you that scene next.
There's a funky karma here, man.
Is this a joke?
I hope so, because I don't think I like it here at all.
Where the hell are we?
Listen, do we have to get out here?
Balkan Video Courts in the schools, 1898.
Bacchomania.
So this is the scrapyard and the mansion. And I'll ask the audience, what do you think of this setup? Do you think it's cool or do you think it's lame? Or do you just think it's just plain weird and you just don't want to watch the movie anymore? I'm getting one yes. I guess that's sort of expected. This movie's not for everybody, that is for sure. So
Yeah, you already know it wasn't for me, so get this moving.
So we will find out how nice this judge is. Now, with Chevy Chase, because he's a banker, he's keeping them there for a while. Even though the other people are sort of forgiven for their speeding tickets, or for this crime here, he is holding them all. He's keeping them there for a little bit of time. Chevy Chase he hates the most because he doesn't like bankers or financial people because he got a raw deal with a bad investment. So I guess he made a bad investment. So now Chevy Chase or Chris has to pay the price. He's pretty much looking to kill him eventually. That's not a joke. So you will see what he does with a bunch of drunk idiots. I'm sure he's very nice to them. Let's find out.
Oh my God! And will you look at his face? Is that nose rubber?
Hey, I don't want you. I want Judge Wapner. I have to flee the fifth dimension.
Okay. Well, let's see here. We got your crack and ice cocaine here. You got your pills, vials of coke, snorters, pipes, grinders. Get your gun here. Get your switchblade knives. Well, since you're all having a whole of a time on some kind of a hopped up date, I believe that we can get this all over relatively simply and have you people on your way. So step forward to the bench, please.
Hey, see that? Nice one to stand and touch, you know what I'm saying?
You take care of this. I'm gonna go out for a smoke.
Over a smoke? Dennis, they got guns, drugs. One of them trying to kill you. I'll say to watch.
Okay, I hereby find all parties culpable in this matter to charge, and so choose to convey the maximum levy for these violations, and do therefore deem that you be conveyed to a wholly lawful place of execution, wherein you shall be put to death. I tell you what, there, I'll give you all your coke and your grinders and spoons and pots and guns and knives and all that back to you when you come out the other end.
Ooh, that hurts. Oh, that's what he does to drunk guys, I guess, that have coke, brass knuckles, and other recreational goodies. I guess, and because they laughed at him, he decided to put them on the Bone Stripper roller coaster. So they are done. Goodbye. Well, this would cut down on the whole driving drunk or driving impaired. So that was kind of interesting. I thought it was kind of an amusing scene, but Some people seem to disagree with me. Okay, fine. They're not goodies. They're bad stuff. We get the point. So these guys are pretty much off tier. So I guess Chevy Chase doesn't really know what he's in for. But let's just say it's something similar to that eventually. Let's just see what the next clip is going to be.
Me sleeping.
No.
Welcome to supper. How about a nice Hawaiian punch?
Thank you, Judge. You know, there's nothing better at the end of a long day on the road than a nice warm glass of Hawaiian punch.
Introduce my granddaughter, Eldona. She's single, the best Class A mechanic in 5 states.
It's adorable, Judge.
She'd make an ideal wife, too. Genuine wage earner and struck dumb at birth by a thunderclap.
My kind of woman.
I think the two of you'd make a perfect couple.
Dear Frank, you know, like they had before they brought in night games.
Wow, this guy really knows how to make an entrance. I'm telling you, as weird as this movie is, it does have like a fun element to it too. I mean, Dan Aykroyd definitely has the best part, but again, he did write this movie. This was definitely his baby, if you want to say that. So, they are eating dinner together, and I'm going to tell you, there is a part to this story here that's interesting. I will save that at the end when I do my actual review, which I tend to do in all my videos. So
Really? I haven't noticed.
Yes. So yes, they had warm Hawaiian punch with dinner. It's what I like to have with my meal every single day. And he had-
Poison?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, poison, and then to top it off with some really disgusting looking hot dogs.
Yeah, well, we forgot the ants on the log.
Oh yes, that's right. Then there was the ants on the yes, whatever that is. Ants
I
on
don't
the
even know
log
what
or
the hell
something.
that means.
Yeah, I know they used to have it. It used to be raisins with peanut butter on a celery stick. That did not look like that at all.
That sounds
It
disgusting.
doesn't sound good to me either.
Well, you can't have it either way, but that still sounds disgusting.
And those hot dogs looked like they were prepared at Walmart. So, we will see the next scene here with Chevy Chase and Demi Moore in the attic. I don't think they were supposed to discover this stuff. And you're going to find out where a bunch of missing people went. I'm going to show you that next.
Wow, look at all these IDs.
What is this? Must be thousands of them.
Passports and auto clip cards. Wow, a license for Virginia horse and trappings, 1896.
Statewide search for outlaw biker gang underway. Busload of Hari Krishnas disappears.
Ex-Nazi rocket scientist vanishes, 49.
All these IDs match the news clippings. It is. Jimmy Hoffa's still missing, and here's his ID.
Are you kidding? Wow. You know, I think they've been doing this around here since the 1890s, and I don't see any reason why they're going to stop at us. I mean, look at this. They're all criminals and creeps.
Bankers.
Okay, so this part here is actually really funny. A couple people did not think it was.
Did this really happen to Dan Aykroyd? Did he find a whole bunch of dead people up in an attic?
Not exactly. He killed these people. These are people that he took their IDs. And
I wasn't talking about the movie. I was talking about in real life.
oh, no! In real life, they kind of put all the papers together and stuff like that. So no, but this part was funny with Jimmy Hoffa.
Never heard of him.
Missing, and he was a union leader that got in some trouble with fraud and stuff like that. So those are the people that the judge is killing. He was killing bad people. And I don't know why people didn't find this funny. I found it to be kind of amusing that they would put that in a Nazi rocket scientist. I mean, it is kind of amusing. And this is labeled as a comedy, so I don't know why they're talking about frightening children. I think this movie has been
It's
pretty
PG-13.
amusing.
Children should not be watching this.
Okay, and then there's that too. It does have a PG-13 rating slapped right on it. So, there you go. So all these arguments are kind of working against these stupid know-it-all critics right about now. So, I will show the part with the judge as he's getting ready for his nap time. So this is the judge getting ready for his nap time. As you can see, he's got a wooden leg, a fake nose. I think it's a fake nose.
Or somebody else's.
Or it could be somebody else's. It could be the whole Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing that Dan Aykroyd was going for. And he does let out a little bit of a potent fart at the end there. I know it was little, but after the hot dogs he ate, I think that's pretty toxic. That's probably worse than Rosie O'Donnell's, Amy Schumer's, and John Goodman's and George Wentz all put together into one.
I don't know who two of the people are.
That's okay. Point is, it is got to be lethal. So I am surprised that the judge lived this long, living on Hawaiian Punch and those really poisonous hot dogs. I'm impressed. So I will show the next scene here. We get to meet, finally, Baby Bobo.
You're the fat one. I'm not. Just take the hammer. Can't you hold that straight? Hey, you're the one who's forging. Can't you even see? I can see. You're stupid. Oh, that's it. I am never working for you in this factory again. Never. Give me that. Go get a ball peen. You know, the one that's round on here. I know the ball peen hammer's round.
So this is Baby Bobo, also played by Dan Aykroyd. So I believe he plays both of these guys. So he has to memorize lines for both of these little babies, or big babies for that matter. So say what you want about this movie, this took a lot of work. I mean, this definitely stressed Dan Aykroyd out. But nonetheless, this part here is hilarious.
Well, he can't be that stressed out since it was his movie.
It was his movie, but he didn't realize he would have to do all this work. You'll find out more when I actually get to the actual review. So, yes, these are the two babies. They are very amusing. I think they're hilarious. I know they're a little gross to look at, but you know what? That's just part of the movie. At least this was an original idea. This isn't some stupid comic book. This is an idea that he came up with on his own. I know. For some reason, people don't look at that, but nope, this was not a Tom Clancy novel or anything else. This was Dan Aykroyd's idea. It came from his own mind. So I give him a lot of credit to this. It's better than taking something from some stupid comic book and turning it into a Marvel movie. At least this is his own idea. So I'm going to, that is my story and I'm sticking to it. So now I will show the final clip when he is fighting with the judge. And this part is really funny.
Village Reeve hurt in foundry blast. So that's what happened to the poor old ugly puss bag.
I thought I took care of that bourbon problem last year. Wait, no. Well, I'm glad I forgot my pistol. Bad call, Cornflake. I left that leg in France. And now, I'm gonna stick you. I'm gonna dig so many new holes in you, you're gonna look like a salt shaker. Get your Italian loafers out of my bed path. Crazy. I'm gonna make you cry now, boy. Chew on this, you stinking relic. Moscow!
So this is the fight scene here. I found this funny because, first of all, I like how he shoots up on his chair, for one. And he's wobbling around on his wooden legs, that's two. And then Chevy Chase sticks his loafer into his bedpan. So that was kind of funny there as well. And then at the very end of it, that we missed, Dan Aykroyd does swear at him. And that was kind of funny as well. Now what happens is, he runs into his granddaughter, she ends up bumping into him, so now he is now forced to marry her or he's going to kill him. I'm not going to show you any more clips because, as usual, I want you to see the rest of this for yourself. I actually want you to see this movie.
Nope.
I actually recommend not watching it once. I recommend you watch it twice. And the reason is because I watched it one time and we missed a lot of stuff. The problem is you really gotta listen to the jokes because they are really funny.
I like how he says we, and I was nowhere in this picture. Just saying.
I'm talking about my friends when we first got this movie.
Yeah, okay.
My mom actually gave this to me as a late Christmas present. She didn't know if I liked it.
In 1990?
No. 2004, I think.
I was still a child.
This is when Circuit City was still around, I think. So this was a long time.
2004? I was what, 10?
Yeah.
I wasn't even allowed to watch this. I was 3 years too young.
Yeah, so anyway, so she bought me this movie I think it was like a week after Christmas. She said, I didn't give this to you because, one, I didn't know if I had it because I was looking to buy this. It was very cheap. It was like $3 new. So then she ended up buying it because she didn't know if I had it and she didn't know if I would like it. So I said, I'll give it a shot. So a couple of my friends and I watched it and we liked it, but we did miss a lot of the jokes because Chevy Chase did have some good one-liners.
What friends?
Jeff Lukasik and Sean.
Oh.
I can't remember if anybody else. Alright, so what I want to show first, before I do my review, I want to show you Siskel and Ebert's review on this movie. It won't take long, I promise. It's very short, which means it's bad. So I will show you that in just a second.
Critical distinction because Scenes from a Mall was merely a bad movie, a disappointment. Whereas our next movie is truly horrendously awful, one of the most cheerless and unpleasant times I've ever had at the movies, and I've been going for a long time. The name of the movie is Nothing But Trouble. It was directed by Dan Aykroyd. It stars him in 2 roles, John Candy in 2 more roles, plus Chevy Chase, Demi Moore, and a group of assorted cretins in other roles. And the fact that this movie was advertised as a comedy says something about the breakdown of the English language. The movie starts with Chevy Chase as an investment counselor who's asked Demi Moore, a new neighbor in his building, to drive out to the country. And the next morning, though, he's too hungover to drive. Sadistic hands of the depraved Balkenheiser family, presided over by a 106-year-old justice of the peace, played by Aykroyd. Chevy Chase is offered a chance to live if he will marry the judge's granddaughter, played here in drag by John Candy.
You make this the bride?
No, not in front of all these people, Your Honor.
Now.
Okay, now those are some of the more palatable scenes in the movie. I won't go into the mutant toad people or the bone-crushing machine or the sheer visions of hell that are summed up by other moments in the movie. I guess maybe what Aykroyd thought he was making here was a cross between Beetlejuice and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but there aren't a whole lot of laughs in this movie, and finally it just grows sullen and desperate. I have nothing but sympathy for all of the actors and even more sympathy for the audience.
Yeah, I don't say it, and again, I'm losing the time. It is a depressing experience. I think that's what's shocking. Here it is labeled a comedy. We got big comedy stars in there, and you sit there, no laughs, and then the mood of the film, the look of it is dark, dank, and just unpleasant.
It's just really ugly. You know,
I
had a
laughed.
strange experience. I saw this movie on Tuesday.
I only watched 3 parts of it.
What?
But
I
when went
laughed.
back, there were 3 teenagers
I watched
who
3
made
parts
a lot
of it.
noise. A lot of noise. I don't mean
Yeah. Okay, so here it is. Here's the Siskel and Ebert part. And I would like it if you would comment on that. Was that an accurate review, or was it just bad? They did not go into any details at all. Because I would like to say it again. Dan Aykroyd directed, written, and played dual roles in this movie. They failed to tell you that. And another thing is here, this is the part that I'm going to tell you, is this is sort of based on true events. Dan Aykroyd was driving from Canada to Saturday Night Live, which is in New York, and he was driving, and he went 50 and a 35. And he got pulled over, and the cop pulled him over, he wanted to pay his ticket, and the cop says, that's not how we do it here. So the cop takes him to the judge to pay his ticket. He does, but then the judge invites Dan Aykroyd for tea. So he has tea with the judge, and I believe he also has dinner as well. So this is a real life thing that happened to Dan Aykroyd. He wrote the script.
Not all this.
Not exactly like this, but it was still, this is where he got the idea. His idea again. So I found that very interesting. And it took him a lot of work to do this. He got turned down by several people with his script. He constantly got it turned down. Warner Brothers finally picked it up, and he couldn't find a director, so he had to do it. So he wrote it, directed it, and he was in heavy makeup for his part as the judge and as the baby Bobo twins. So to me, that is a lot of work. That's a lot. And John Candy as well with his dual roles. So there is a lot going on here. And then you had Chevy Chase, of course, who had clashes with, from what I read a little bit, with Demi Moore. I tried to find out, there's no pun here, but I tried to find more on this thing. Unfortunately, it kept taking me to that stupid Reddit site. So it was just opinions, no facts. And Reddit people are going to bash Chevy Chase because people on Reddit have no sense of humor whatsoever. So now to my review here.
Grade.
Or grade.
You just did the review.
Sorry. If I had to grade this actually was funnier than I thought. So I was going to give this a C. I'm actually going to go with B- on this one. Because this is a B- movie. It is. Now, on the other hand, I will give Dan Aykroyd himself, I'll give him an A for effort. He did not give up on this, and he did a ton of work. I can't even imagine the workload he had for this movie. The other thing I want to bring up is the makeup was fantastic on these scenes here. Dracula, my friend Sean brought up a good point here. Why can't Ernest win awards when some of these other movies that don't deserve it win? And Dracula is one of them. That won Best Makeup this year, I believe. This had better makeup than Dracula. The Coppola's Dracula looked like that Gordon Ramsay made a blackberry pie and gave it to John Taffer and he threw it up on Dracula. It looked horrible. This looked better. This was more creative. This really was a creative movie. So, in my opinion, this is sort of a lost movie in a lot of ways. And Stupid Siskel and Ebert really dropped the ball with their review. I thought that was dog crap. It was horrible. They didn't even pay attention to what was going on. And I don't think they even understood any of the humor, which makes them morons. So do I agree with what they said? Absolutely not. And I really think you should pick a copy of this movie up. Buy it on eBay or go to a flea market and get it. And like I said, watch it twice, because one may not be enough. So, if you agree with me, that's fine. If not, just comment below, subscribe if you want, and thank you for watching.